Anger doesn't need to rule your life. Frank resolved decades of anger in this single coaching session with me. Watch the full 90-minute session, including 1 and 4 week follow up. Then get free resources so you can get these results yourself. Just click the link below this video, join my newsletter, and you'll automatically receive these resources, including an exclusive training from me and much more.
When I saw your name, I said, okay, I want to go with you. I want to have this session with you. If your mother wasn't able to do it, you were the one. And and one thing that she recommended was to read the Wholeness book. And I had
Yeah.
that book because I bought that a couple of years ago. And I also bought
Okay.
the Core Transformation, but I never read them because I
Hmm.
was doing other NLP readings and I was
Yeah.
so busy with college because
Yeah.
I was going for my master's degree, and now I'm going to start in June as a physical therapist student to become a doctor of physical therapy. It'll be a 3-year
Great.
program.
Great.
And so, yeah, thank you. And so when she told me that, I took the Wholeness book, and within like a couple of days, I read the book, and it
Uh-huh.
was interesting. But then
Yeah.
when you started talking about core transformation in your email, I started to read it, but I said, let me not go too fast with this book. Let
Hmm.
me work with Mark first, and then I'll follow, what he
Yeah.
suggests.
Yeah.
Uh,
Great.
but it was interesting, very interesting to see
Okay.
that video.
Yeah, wonderful. And that'll help, each wholeness and CT, not surprisingly, both support the other. So doing core
Mm,
transformation, it's going to support your wholeness work and vice versa too. So
okay,
you'll by doing one, you'll get more out of the other and vice versa. They're nice companions that way. So
that's great.
and I heard too from your background info, your interest in doing this session and really like doing as much as you can on your own. So after
Yeah.
this session, I'll send you some a self practice script, which is basically the same script from the book for core transformation,
Okay.
but also some tips for if you want to do like a mini self practice as
Okay.
opposed to like a full kind of 60 to 90-minute session with yourself. You can also do
Mm,
it like 10 to 15 minutes, just kind of phase 1 and 2 with something from
mm,
that day. And that can be a really nice way to work, especially if there's
mm.
like something of irritation or one of these things of irritation that comes up. Just,
Okay.
just do it daily for like 10, 15 minutes. So it's doable. It's not going to take a ton of time, but you can like touch into the those deeper states that way.
Yeah, I definitely will do it. I respect your father so much. I know he passed away in
Yeah.
2018, but I would always watch his videos, and then your mother working with him, and I whenever I thought of NLP, to me they were the most like to me I that to me was real NLP. And then the only other person I respect as well is Damon Cart, which I've
Yeah.
seen his videos, and he talks so well about your family, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so just to get to it, to at least would you want me to tell you like my would you want me to tell you anything about this that I'm going through right now, or
So what you shared in the background form was really clear to me. I mean, it
okay,
sounds really really straightforward. Where we begin is that
okay.
just that response of that explosive anger. We can just jump right in. I don't need any more info, but I'm always open to hear anything you'd like me to know.
Yeah, just I know whether this is not like a therapy session like that, but just
Yeah.
to let you know that this has been something I think that I've had since I was a young, and I
Mhm.
think it had to do a lot, with my because my father died when I was 6, so my mother, like not listening to me, and
Mm.
I felt I think a lot of disrespect when I was a kid, in the
Mm.
sense of blatant disrespect of not listening. I felt like I was the adult many times with my mother with the stuff
Mm.
that she did,
Mm.
and there was like a rage and an anger that I had, and I could control it more, I guess, when I was younger. But as I've gotten like my kids were born 2018, 2019. From that point on, it's
Yeah.
like my blood pressure went up. I started to
Yeah.
have to take medication, and I noticed that I'm a little more explosive, and it's almost like
Yeah.
I expect perfection from others and from myself, and sometimes stupid things get me angry.
Mm.
Like dumb
Yeah.
things. Like
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick example of what I told you about what happened at a family gathering. This guy, I'm getting off the train station. We're gonna go to take a ferry boat, and the guy is right there, and he's like saying, "Where do you want to go? Like you're coming out of the train station. I don't know this guy from Adam." And he's like asking me, where you want to go? I said, no, we're fine. Thank you. And I said it twice. And then the third time, he's like screaming at me, where do you want to go? And then I finally like lost it there. And I said, listen, that's none of your business. And
Mm,
then I start to walk away and he curses at me.
mm,
And then I cursed back, but I
mm,
kept walking, trying to catch my breath, trying to calm down. And I got it, it really got to me. But then my daughter yesterday, she was like thinking about that still.
mm,
And she was afraid. And this is why, like, I know I have to do something to change this.
mm.
That's pretty much it in a
Yeah,
nutshell.
yeah. Awesome. That makes sense. And yeah, there's a piece in the process that deals with that younger, that often that's the case that these patterns start at a young age. And so there's a part of the process that incorporates that. Um and as my mom said, I was talking with her a year ago or so. She said, if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't have had to do nearly as much personal growth. So, and yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to hold things together and just get by, when you don't
Yeah.
have kids to deal with also.
That's so true. That's so true.
And I
You know,
know
one
from
quick.
from my own personal experience too now. So my son's 6, so he was
Okay.
2019, so pretty just a
Okay.
year after.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. So
Uh,
you have experience in it.
yeah, yeah. How many kids do you have?
Well, I have two. I have one
Yeah.
was born 2018 and then the other one in 2019.
Oh, really
So
close
yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Big change
it
in 2 years.
yes, it's a big change. And then I
Yeah.
was doing school also, like I was doing like full-time
Yeah.
school and working. And
Yeah.
I
Wow.
and I don't want to be political because I don't know what your leanings are, but at that time, we had the same president we have now, and there
Yeah.
was a lot of stress in this country back then. So all
Yeah.
of those things put together just was I felt like
Yeah.
my head was going to explode at that time. That's why I
Yeah.
got the high blood pressure. I feel that it was due to stress, even though in my family, high blood pressure, my father had it. But I
Yeah.
feel because I worked out and I did my things, I feel that it was more stress related that I got this high blood pressure, not
Yeah.
because of food intake or anything like that. It
Yeah.
was more
Yeah.
stress related. So,
Yeah.
and I
That makes
take
sense.
minimal amount of medicine. I'm not taking a
Yeah.
whole, like a lot, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the anger is not helping me.
Yeah, 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 totally. Well, and yeah, with the blood pressure too, if you're interested, I can send a write-up of somebody I worked with where specifically it was about blood pressure. For her, it was more anxiety and but stress and
Mhm.
we managed through working together to do some really amazing things with her blood pressure that the medications weren't even able to do for her.
Wow, wow,
Um,
that's great.
I can send that to you if you'd like.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Anything you send, believe me, I will take in, I will
Okay.
read. And even though we're
Awesome.
doing one session now,
Yeah.
Mark,
Yeah.
this doesn't mean that in the future I might not do something with you because I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
will keep in touch and let you know how things are going. But
Yeah. That's great.
right now I'm in such a desperate moment that I just wish I can have some type of transformation that can
Yeah.
at least open up a doorway so I can go in this direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. And it's great that you're yeah, obviously really motivated and wanting to take this on yourself as a practice. That's what we do.
Yes.
And that's the way to get the most out of it is to
Yes.
really do this as a practice. So
Yes, yes. Because I
awesome.
feel people sit back and they say, "Oh, do it for me." No, I want you to help me to learn to do it for myself. You
Yeah,
know?
awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy to do that too. So feel free, if questions come up along the way as you're doing your self practice, just shoot me an email.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, well, let's begin. And as we go too, I welcome your feedback all along the way. So if a
Okay.
question comes up, you can, this is for you. So
Mm,
interrupt, ask questions if they come up. If
mm.
you have feedback for me of something that would be helpful to do or to not do, just let me know.
Okay.
I'll do my best to remember to ask for feedback specifically along the way too. So,
Okay.
um,
Thank you.
yeah. So to begin, are you comfortable where you are, how you're seated
Yes.
and everything? Okay.
Yes, I am.
If that changes, again, let me know. Um,
Okay.
and so if you want to just begin by closing your eyes
Okay.
and Just take a moment to begin by thinking about the different times and places where this anger occurs. So you mentioned in your background form driving with your kids, with your wife, other situations. Just get a sense of where and when, with whom this happens. Just for yourself. You don't need to tell me more than you've shared already. And then whenever you're ready, you can choose a specific example. Maybe it's this one you shared with me of
Yeah.
with that man who kept asking you.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so
have it.
yeah, and so we can use this as just a clear example of this response that you'd like to transform. So you can mentally step back into this memory now. So it's like you're back in it, at the beginning. Maybe even before, maybe it's just the first time that guy opened his mouth.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
wherever it was that it just that first beginning of, okay, this is annoying.
Yes, 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 yes.
Um, just mentally step back into the memory, just seeing what you saw, hearing what you heard, feeling what you felt at the time, noticing your internal images, sounds, feelings as you relive this experience. And since you didn't decide to have this response of anger, it's as if some part of you generated this
Mhm.
at the automatic level. So you can just notice in your body or around you, where do you sense this part lives? Where do you sense this anger is being generated from?
I feel like it's like a two things. Like I feel like it's here, and
Yeah.
then it goes up to my head. It's almost that's how I
Yeah.
feel. Like it lives here, and then like from the heart, like this area, and it just like,
Yeah.
and it's almost like I don't know if I'm giving up too much information at the moment, but it's almost like a buildup. Like it's almost like
Yeah.
when something builds up. Like think about the Incredible Hulk when
Yeah.
he just the rage just builds up, and sometimes that can happen in an instant. And that's
Yeah.
how it felt at that moment. Just
Yeah.
looking at his face, the way he was talking to me, and his tone of voice,
Yeah.
it just built up that rage within me and then that's when I exploded. It was like I
Yeah.
tried to be and I let me get away from the content. I'm sorry, but it's here. It's
Yeah.
here
Great. The
and it
important
builds
thing is,
up.
yeah, that's the important thing is what you have already in your experience of it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
that. And so you can just begin by thanking this part for being here. We
Thank
can
you.
take this location in the chest where it starts as the location
Yeah,
of this part. And then it can, of course, build up very quickly up into the head. Yeah, just thank this part for being here because we know that this part of you wants something positive.
yes.
And when you thank this part, you can just ask this part of you here in your chest, what do you want? When you feel this, what do you want? Just notice the first response that comes back. You can share that
I,
with.
the part that just came up is like there was one and then another after, but the first one was peace and the second one was respect.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great. So we don't need to choose. We can take both of this.
Okay,
Peace, respect. So you can just thank this part for this
thank
response,
you.
these responses. Peace and respect. And and also let me just share something that I think may be happening, and you tell me if this fits your experience. Is
Yes.
that it may be that peace is more like what you, Frank, want, and the reason that
Mm,
you're here is because you want more peace,
mm.
and that this part is wanting respect. But you tell me if that fits.
I think so. I think you're right. I think you're right because
Okay.
it feels is it like I you know
Yeah.
like you said about the little kid in the past, like I feel that that part has something unresolved there, and it's
Yeah.
like the little kid, like yeah, because I've been a lot of introspection and everything, and I always feel like that little kid never got respect, and I feel that
Yeah.
that part is. I don't want to go like into the therapy side, but I feel that
Yeah.
you're right in what you just pointed out.
Okay, yeah, great. So then if that fits for this part of you, then we can honor it even more fully by acknowledging that what this part in your chest really wants is respect. And for
Mhm.
you, the reason you signed up for this session is you want peace.
Yes,
And so
yes.
in a sense there's two parts here. There's the part of you that is meeting for this session that wants peace, and there's this part in your chest that in this moment, you know, it just wants respect, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the best way towards peace is really fully respecting this part of you and listening to this part of you that's been generating this. That's the way that's the easy path to peace there. So by really paying attention to this part and what it's wanting, that will also get what the other part of you is wanting. And so yeah, so for this part in your chest, you can invite this part of you now to step into, just breathe into what it's like to already have respect fully and completely, just the way it wants. And it can take all the time it likes. Just let me know when this part of you is experiencing respect, what it's like to have respect fully and completely. Yeah, great. So now, as this part is experiencing respect, you can ask this part, when you have respect, what do you want through this that's even deeper still, even more important? Again, just notice the first response that comes back from this part.
It was easy, like something just popped up when he was saying it. It's just love.
Love, wonderful. So thank it for this response. Love, yeah, beautiful. And invite this part of you to step into, breathe into, yeah, what it's like to already have love fully the way it wants.
Oh, this is a good feeling.
Mm, yeah, wonderful. And of course, this part of you can continue experiencing this and enjoying this good feeling, even as we continue with this process as well. And you can also just ask this part if it's ready for the next question, or does it want a little bit more time just with this before the next question. Yeah, right. So you can ask this part, when you have love already, what do you want through love, through having this that's even deeper still or more important?
What came was the connection to be able to help others.
Mm, yeah, right. Thank it for this response. Connection to be able to help others. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, deeply important. And so you can thank this part and invite this part to step into this now. What it's like to already have this connection to be able to help others fully and completely. And as this part is experiencing this, you can ask this part when you already have this connection to be able to help others. What do you want through this that's even deeper or more important?
This makes sense, but it's almost like a like oneness and
Mm.
freedom. Like
Yeah.
that's like a freedom
Yeah.
where there's no limit, and it's like oneness with everything, with everyone. Like
Mm. Yeah.
there's no even though we're separate, like no separation
Wonderful.
in a deeper sense.
Mm. Yeah. So thank this part for this response of oneness and freedom, no limit, no separation. And invite this part of you to step into, to breathe into what it's like to already have this fully and completely oneness and freedom, no limit, no separation. Okay. And ask this part when you have this oneness and freedom, is there anything you want through this that's even deeper still?
I just something just said simply that there's not even something that I have to try for. There's just simply joy and happiness.
Mm, okay, simply joy and happiness. And so thank this part for this response and invite it to step into this, breathe into this, what it's like to already have this simply joy and happiness. It just is fully, completely. And as this part is experiencing this, you can ask, is there anything you want through this joy and happiness that just is? It's even deeper still.
I just wish that for the world. I,
Mm,
I just wish it for the world,
yeah, yeah.
for
Wonderful.
every living thing.
And so you can invite this part of you to step into what it's like to have this, to wish this for the world, every living thing, joy and happiness. And ask this part when you already have this joy and happiness for every living thing, the whole world.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, what do you want through having this? It's even deeper stuff.
It's funny because what just came up
Mm,
is something I mentioned earlier,
yeah.
which is naturally, I don't even have to want it. It just naturally happened.
Mm,
Peace, peace.
yes. Okay. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, that's a shock. Oh
Wonderful.
my God.
And so you can invite this part of you to just breathe into this. Yeah. Step into this. Yeah. what it's like to already have peace fully and completely. Yeah. And as this part is experiencing peace, you can ask this part, when you have peace, is this what you want at the deepest level? Or is there anything you want through having peace that's even deeper still?
I feel like that is the base because that's like a complete circle, complete
Yeah,
like a completeness. I don't know if that's
yeah.
even a word to use, but I feel like when I'm at peace, I'm at the base of it all.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So you can just invite this part of you to just bask in this experience of peace, just this base of it all, what it wants at the deepest level. And as this part is experiencing peace now, you can let this part know we have some really wonderful news for it. And that is that even though this part thought it needed to first do certain things or get certain things first in order to experience this peace, that actually the best way and the easiest way to experience peace is just to step into it and have it. Because actually, there's nothing else that needs to happen first. That's the wonderful thing about this experience of peace, right? That this is just a state of being. And yeah, so the good news is that it's so much easier than this part of you thought. The best way to have what it wants at the deepest level is just to step into and have it. And so you can invite this part of you to step into what it's like to have peace now as an ongoing way of being. And just ask this part, when you already have peace in an ongoing way, how does already having this make things different?
It's like all those things,
Mm,
respect,
mm,
um, fighting for respect for the rights of something or just to stand to fight for what's right or what you think is right. It's
yeah.
like all that vanished. There's
Mm,
no need for it. There's no,
wow. Yeah, yeah.
like I'm looking at the situation. It just popped up of the guy talking to me, and I'm like laughing because it's
Mm,
almost like
mm,
it has no effect. Like if
mm.
he has the right to talk however he wants, that's fine. Uh,
Yeah. Wonderful.
wow.
Mm. Yeah. So, yeah, breathing in this experience, just feeling this now. You can also ask this part, when you already have peace as a way of being, how does already having peace enrich, radiate through this whole experience of wanting joy and happiness for every living thing? How does already having peace just support and enrich this? And
I can see it. It's just having that peace and radiating it.
mm,
I am in some way am contributing to that for others
mm,
without even having to try, and all that good energy
yeah,
it radiates out onto all living things.
yeah, wonderful. And of course, what you're already noticing, just this, how having peace also just enriches or radiates through, whatever the experience is of whatever living things are surrounding you in the given moment, whether they're yelling at you or something else, whatever the case may be, whatever the various living things are doing in the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can also ask this part of you, how does already having peace as a way of being transform, enrich, or radiate through this whole area of simply joy and happiness that just is?
I didn't even have to say it. I just feel it. That the joy and the happiness come out of peace. They are.
Mm,
They come out of the peace.
yeah.
So there's nothing that I need to do because that is a part of peace.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Just,
Those are qualities of peace.
yeah. Wonderful. Just enjoying this, and this part of you can breathe in this experience of joy and happiness, just qualities of peace, just already there. And you can also ask this part, how does already having peace as a way of being transform, enrich, radiate through this whole area of oneness and freedom, like no limit, no separation?
There is something your mother mentioned, which
Mm,
is awareness.
mm,
And whatever that is, awareness, people call it different things.
yeah.
That is something that we don't have words to describe, but somehow you feel that you're connected to everything, and you know
Mm,
that there's a connect life or whatever it is. There's something there that goes beyond words,
mm,
and peace is what it is. Like peace is that. And
yeah.
no matter if a planet is exploding or tensions are going on in the world or whatever is happening in the corner,
Yeah.
it's like that peace cannot ever be touched. No matter what's going on, that peace is there. You know, like
Mm,
you can like I broke my leg one time. There was a part of me that was seeing that and it wasn't being affected by it. And
mm,
that's that's the peace that I'm feeling right now. That peace that cannot be touched by any negative force like that.
mm.
It's just it's like the base of everything. Everything comes out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Experiencing this peace that comes out of everything. You can also ask this part, how does already having peace as a way of being enrich, transform, or radiate through connection to be able to help others?
So that connection, we are already connected. So there's there's a connection there already. So by seeing it that way and feeling it, experiencing it, it's like no matter what happens, it's okay.
Mm. Mm.
It's okay.
Breathing in this experience, or just breathing with this experience. It's just okay. You can also ask this part, how does already having peace as a way of being transform, enrich, or radiate through this whole area of love?
The hippies used to say peace and love. The
Mm,
way I'm feeling right now,
yeah.
peace and love are one. There
Mm,
is no separation.
mm, yeah, yeah. Peace and love. Wonderful. And experiencing this now, you can also ask this part, how does already having peace as a way of being transform, enrich, or radiate through this whole area that was wanting respect? Just noticing how it is now.
Respect is all. There is no need for it anymore. That's
Mm.
why I left earlier.
Yeah, yeah. And just breathing in what's just naturally present, or just noticing, being with what's just naturally present now, with peace. No need for respect. You can also ask this part, how does already having peace as a way of being transform, enrich, radiate through the particular memory that you started with? Just noticing how it is now.
It's funny. It's funny because it makes me laugh. Like there
Let's
is nothing there.
looks just a little bit different than before.
It's like a comedy skit because it's like, there's nothing there. Like,
Mm,
it's almost like he's talking to an invisible person in some ways because it's like, really, I'm looking at him and I wouldn't want to laugh in his face, but I don't want to disrespect him or make him feel bad in any way. But I don't feel anything when he's telling me that.
mm, mm.
It's almost like a skit, like a comedy skit that you
Yeah,
just laugh. Right?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wonderful. And so, being with this experience, you can also ask this part, how does already having peace as an ongoing way of being also radiate through, enrich, or transform the various other situations in which you used to have the old response? Just noticing what's naturally present now.
I just like with the driving, like
Mm,
I just feel like, okay, you're impatient, go ahead. You want to cross, go ahead. Like I sort of feel sorry for some of the people and what they
mm,
do. With
mm,
my kids, I just laugh because they're little and they're kids.
mm.
Kids are kids. And
Yeah.
so I'm fine with that. And then with my wife, like I look at it and she has, the right to do her things the way she may want to do them. So it's
Mm,
almost like not almost, it's like that need for perfectionism has
mm.
also like dissipated because I don't need to control things. There's no need to control things. Things just flow,
Yeah, yeah. Wonderful.
and I don't feel any like disrespect. Yeah, that word, like I said, that that just is not there anymore. So
Mm,
the
yeah,
the actions of others are their actions, and
yeah.
that's fine.
Oh, great.
I don't need to carry those actions, like I used to. I don't need to
Yeah,
carry them.
yeah, yeah. Sure simplifies things.
Yes, I could just be.
uh, great. Wonderful. And you can also ask this part, how does already having peace as a way of being transform, enrich, or radiate through future situations with either driving with your kids, with your wife, or other situations?
Mm. It's- I can see myself being much kinder, much more patient,
Mm,
and just being more relaxed.
mm, yeah, yeah, great. And so now, since as you mentioned at the beginning of this session, these parts are usually formed at a much younger age than we are now.
Mhm.
It's almost like at some younger age, some part of us split off to try to protect us in some way or serve us in some way. It's almost often it's as if that part gets like stuck at that younger developmental age and doesn't have access to the rich resources, life experience, wisdom that we've gained since that age, that young age. And so you can just check with this part, ask this part, how old are you? Just notice what response comes back. It may or may not make any sense consciously.
You mean the part that held on to the respect and that the part what I started with?
Yeah, whose core
Yeah.
state is now peace, and now this part's
Okay.
experiencing peace. And you can just ask
Okay.
this part, how old was I when you were first formed? Just notice what response comes back.
The first age that came out was 6.
Yeah.
That was like the first, and that was like unconscious. Then I thought, consciously, early age, but 6 was the unconscious answer that
Okay,
came out first.
great. We go with that one. So just thank it for
Yeah.
this response of 6.
Mm.
And you can ask this part if it would like to make its job even easier by getting to have the benefits that can come from evolving and growing up to your current age.
Very excitedly, there
Yeah.
was a yes.
All right, great. So you can begin, what can allow this to be easy is you can begin to, by inviting this part to step into what it's like to already have peace at its age of 6. Step into and experience having peace, having its core state of being at its age of 6. You can just nod when it's experiencing this. Yeah. And in its own time, in its own way, with peace as a way of being, this part of you can begin evolving and growing just all the way up to your current age. You can just nod when it arrives at your current age. Peace as a way of being. Yeah. And so now that this part has evolved and grown up to your current age, it no longer needs to be separate from you as a whole human being. In a sense, what we were calling a part now is this core state of peace. And of course, this can become available to all of you, the whole being. And so you can just notice wherever you sense this now that this has evolved and grown up to your current age, if it's outside the body some way where you can see if it welcomes merging or flowing into the body in some way, and then becoming available, just integrating throughout your being, sharing this peace through every cell, through every strand of DNA, perhaps even radiating beyond the edges of your skin until peace is available as a way of being, fully available. you can notice now how having peace fully available, fully present, further deepens and enriches your experience of joy and happiness and for every living thing, and simple joy and happiness that just is a way of being, oneness and freedom, no limit, no separation, connection to be able to help others, love, peace and love, respect, no no need for it even. And the situation that you started with, and also noticing how peace is a way of being fully available, just further deepens, enriches, and radiates through past situations, as well as future possibilities and future experiences. Perhaps even being curious what new behaviors or responses are just natural expressions of peace in the future. Whether somebody cuts you off in traffic or something from your kids or with your wife, some random other life experience. Yeah. And so now I invite you to just check with your whole being, just tuning into all aspects of your being, all parts of yourself. You can just ask on the inside, is there any other part of me that's concerned with this issue?
There's just one thing that just popped up,
Yeah.
and you answered it with the curiosity of how the behavior will be in the future. But
Mhm.
the one little concern that popped up was, what if, like, it's almost like, what would happen if anger popped up somehow
Yeah. Yeah.
in my future, like anger, like I'm not saying
Yeah.
anger the way I've been displaying it, but if anger
Yeah.
ever popped out, like I know from what I've learned that anger is part of us sometimes, that it is, but like my my only, I guess, thing was, how how will I?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I get the question, and so I'll
yeah,
share something, and you tell me if that does it.
yes,
Which
yeah,
is, first off, there may be, there may, hopefully they're infrequent, but there may
yeah,
be times where anger is a perfect expression of your values, and that it's a congruent kind of a thing. That's one possibility. And so if you have a future experience of anger that feels like that, well, then there's no problem with it because you're happy with it as it was.
mhm,
Um,
gotcha.
but if you're not happy with it for any reason, then there's a very simple answer, which is a perfect opportunity to then access another core state of being. Basically, find the part operating in that moment and guide yourself through this process. And that, there can, even though at the surface level it may appear, oh gosh, this anger thing is happening again, it could be that it's actually a different part that's expressing something that at the surface level looks the same, or at the behavioral level looks the same. And actually, this is another part of you that's wanting recognition and attention, and wanting a way to, ultimately wanting to reconnect to its core state of being.
Okay.
And so basically, here's where your self practice comes in, is like basically anytime something happens in life that you go, gosh, that wasn't quite how I wanted it to be. Or maybe
Mhm.
that was really not how I wanted it to be. Then that's a perfect opportunity to basically here's another part that's that's an opportunity waiting for this process to discover its core
Got it.
state of being.
Yeah. Yeah, that's satisfactory. That right there
Yeah,
that you just answered
right,
is
right,
satisfying. I could feel that everything is
right,
congruent.
right. Yeah, wonderful.
Mm, thank you.
And so here's where, people who just do this process as a one-off thing, they're really missing out on one of the biggest benefits, which is that, of course, we all have lots of different parts that ultimately all are wanting some core state of being. And
Mhm.
so doing this process as a life practice, we can just get so much more than resolving a particular issue.
Got it. That's why I like I definitely will follow what you told me to, as far as the guide and first completing the book, because I think I read the first three chapters. I didn't want to go further because I didn't want to like contaminate anything
Yeah,
here. I
yeah,
wanted it to
yeah,
be organic.
yeah.
Uh, but I definitely will definitely read it and apply whatever you like the stuff that you said you were going to send me. Apply that
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
try to also uh, work everything. And
yeah,
then, like I said, I definitely will check in with you. And I
yeah,
don't think this will be the last time that we'll meet, but
yeah,
I definitely I want to keep in touch with you so you can know how this went today because I feel already a big difference just from this experience with you.
yeah. Great. Yeah, and I'll definitely be check if you don't reach out first, I'll definitely be checking in to hear. Yeah.
And feel free to once you hear from me, if you ever want to use this example in teaching or whatever, I fully give permission for you to use it because I feel that this has been powerful, and if it can help someone to see the power of this, I definitely am willing to want to help
Oh,
in some
wonderful.
way.
Thanks so much for that. I really appreciate that. Yeah. And if I do, I'll of course reach out to you first and just double check that it's still that way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, great.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, and so there's now something else we can do with this, which is just to check one more question to just ask of your whole being, all aspects of your being now. You just ask, is there any part of me that has any objection to having peace as an ongoing way of being? Okay. And so as a deepening and enriching experience, I invite you to imagine your whole past like a line or pathway behind you,
Mm,
future out in front of you, and with peace now fully available as a way of being. You can imagine floating up over your timeline and just traveling back to before conception. So that in front of you is conception, birth, all the way up to the present, on into the future. And in a moment, what you'll get to experience is with peace as a way of being, stepping into being a single cell, coming into being, developing, being born, and just all the way up to the present, on into the future. Just experiencing peace as a way of being through time and space, through your whole life. And so, whenever you're ready, with peace already as a way of being, you can imagine stepping into conception, birth, all the way up to the present and on into the future. Experiencing how peace transforms, enriches, and radiates through your whole life, through time and space.
it was like my life is like a different life.
Mm.
I just feel like everything is different.
Mm. Yeah. And you can allow yourself, if you like, to repeat this process as many times as feels valuable, either consciously or unconsciously, just from conception up through time. And when this piece is fully integrated through your whole life, you can open your eyes, taking all the time you like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like my life
Mm.
somehow it's changed. It's funny, but it feels like I know the past is bad, I can't really see it, but I could feel everything is different. Like
Mm.
whatever was back there,
Mm.
everything changed.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel lighter, like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, like the
Yeah.
pressure is gone. Like
I can see it. Yeah. Yeah.
it's amazing. It's like wow.
Yeah.
It's,
Great. Great.
this is really amazing, for me it's I've done so many things in my life to try to find what I'm experiencing with you
Mm.
here.
Mm.
And I've never, I mean, like I think I wrote to you that I read Krishnamurti, I read
Mm.
Peter Ralston, and I've listened to Muji online who talks about, the peace and finding your true self and
Mm.
all that. And then I've tried to use hypnosis in the past, like I said, with reverie, doctors that do it, and nothing that I've ever done has
Mm.
gotten to a place that I know that there's a change. I
Mm.
just know it because I can feel it. Like I know
Mm.
that there was a shift or something happened because it's it's almost like a computer. Like it
Mm.
played a certain or a record. It was playing certain things, or the computer was showing something, and somehow everything, the database was changed. And
Mm.
now
Yeah.
that it doesn't compute anymore. Like it doesn't matter. It's
Wow.
different now.
Uh,
So it's like the database of peace. I just feel it. I just feel a difference.
yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. I see it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's it's amazing, it's amazing because I would see your mother and your father do these things online, and but to experience it and to know that it's just not it's not a feeling.
Mm.
There's a shift.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like when you're trying to figure out a math problem, and this is an intellectual thing, right? But I'm using it like this. Trying to
Yeah.
figure out a problem, and
Yeah.
then it hits you like, oh,
Yeah.
and now you feel this peace because now you know it, and that's not a bother anymore. Now that's easy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now with this.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's really beautiful.
Wow. Well,
Mm.
I have a couple of questions for you, right? I don't know if we, with the actual process, if we need to do something else, but I wanted to ask you some questions about stuff that I've gotten from your father. I got
Yeah.
the
Happy
belief
to. And
course.
just really quickly, there's nothing that we need to do else, and this feels
Okay.
really complete. And
Okay.
uh, what there is, there's an option, and often it's um, often this is great for a first session, like, and this is,
Mhm.
and we don't want to push anything. So, but in the book, there's also, and there's an option, and if it felt like a fit now, I'd be happy to guide you through, but there's
Mhm.
no need to, and it's something
Okay.
you can explore on your own self practice
Yeah.
as well. It's in the book, which is
Okay.
just really briefly described. It's the opportunity to get to experience, like, what would it have been like had both my parents, all of my grandparents had
I'll
this.
do it with you.
You want to do it? All
Yeah, I'll do it with
right.
you. Yeah,
We'll
because
do
I'm
it
with
then.
you. I'm with you, and I want to get
Okay,
the
great.
most out of this. So yeah,
Great. We'll do it. It only takes usually, I mean, you never know until you do it, right? But
yeah.
often it's around
Doesn't
15,
doesn't
20
matter.
minutes.
Yeah, because you told me like 7, and we still have a time,
Don't
so
have
we're good.
time. Yeah. And then we'll
Yeah.
still probably have time. Well, I'm happy to take time for the question, whatever questions you have as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Okay.
okay, great. So you can close your eyes. We'll just have some more fun here. Why not?
Yeah, I'm excited. This is so
And
much fun.
yeah, yeah, great. And so this is an opportunity to, like, basically tap into this wonderful ability that all kids have. And you know this from having from your kids, direct experience, just the wonderful ability that our kids have of just, like, modeling, just soaking up the state of those around them, and the capacities and ways of being of those around them. Kids just have this ability to just soak it up like a sponge, like breathing without even, it just kind of happens. And so this is a way of utilizing this to get to experience what would it have been like to have all of your grandparents, both parents, just having full access to this piece as a way of being, and getting to just absorb it, just soak it up like a sponge as a kid without even thinking about it. So, what we can do is, with this already just deepened, enriched experience of peace that you're experiencing now as a way of being, and imagine your past like a line or pathway behind you, future out in front of you. You can, again, with peace as a way of being, float up over your timeline and just travel back to before conception. So, in front of you is your conception up to the present and on into the future. And now you can imagine turning around 180 degrees, or imagine that this all swings around you 180 degrees so that you're looking further into the past, where you can see both of your parents at the ages they were before your conception. And you can see each of their timelines stretching back behind them to the moment of their conception. And you can see each of their parents at the ages they were before conceiving your parents. If you happen to have any kind of other really major parent figure, that can also be included. You can let me know if that's the case.
I did have my stepfather, and I was close to him.
Yeah, great. Would
Yeah.
you like to include him as well?
Yeah, I can include him. He was a good person.
Yeah, okay, great. Yeah. And did he come into, I'm guessing around age 6 is when he came in.
Like age 7. Yeah,
Age
like age
7.
7. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And so we'll start with your mother and father and grandparents, and then you
Mhm.
can include your stepfather once we get to that part of the timeline.
Okay.
Yeah. Or actually, we'll include him a little before. I'll guide you. So between
Okay.
your mother and father, which side of the family do you want to start with first between
Let
them?
me start with my father.
Okay, great. So you can go ahead and just focusing on his timeline, stretching back to his parents at the ages they were before conceiving him.
Mm.
Just seeing them there, you can allow this core state of peace that you're already experiencing can also flow into each of them, your father's father, your father's mother. Or they might have a sense of just absorbing this peace from the universe. Or maybe the peace already present within them, just waking up to itself until you see them just fully experiencing peace as a way of being. From their expression, from their posture, you just see that your father's father, father's mother, just fully experiencing peace as a way of being. And you can just give a nod when this is the case. Yeah, great. So now you can see your father conceived, born, and just soaking this up like a sponge, just absorbing more and more of this peace from his parents as he evolves and grows up to the moment before your conception. Absorbing more and more peace all the way up. Right. And now you can do the same for your mother's side, seeing her timeline back to the moment her conception, each of her parents at the ages they were before conceiving her, and whether they just absorb this peace from the universe or the sense of this flowing into them, even as you're experiencing this peace, or the peace just already present within them, waking up to itself. Until you can just see from their posture, from the expression on their faces, that each is just fully filled, perhaps overflowing with peace as a way of being. Yeah. And when you're ready, you can see your mother conceived, developing, born, just soaking this up, absorbing this like a sponge, just all the way up to the moment before your conception. Absorbing more and more peace, just as naturally as breathing. Great. And now we'll include your stepfather so you can see him with his timeline stretching back to the moment of his conception and each of his parents at the ages they were before conceiving him. Again, whether this peace just flows into each of them or they absorb this from the universe, or the peace already present within them, just waking up to itself until each of them is fully filled with peace, perhaps overflowing with peace. You can just tell from their posture and the expression on their faces, just fully filled with peace as a way of being. And seeing your stepfather conceived, born, and just absorbing this peace, just soaking it up like a sponge all the way up, all the way up until the moment before your conception, or all the way up to the age 6 or 7, when you were about 6 or 7, or whatever happens naturally here. Now, with a sense of each of your mother, your father, your stepfather, all having access to this peace as a way of being. You can imagine turning back around 180 degrees or having things swing back around. So you have this sense behind you, this intergenerational experience of peace from all 6 grandparents through to all 3 parents. and something that's about to get to be absorbed by you as well. And you may even just have a sense of like the presence of your stepfather in this moment before your conception, even though he won't join into your timeline until later. You can still have this sense of presence of him, if that's a fit, and of course, both your mother and father, just fully experiencing this peace. And you can see the moment of your conception, just fully already filled with peace as a way of being. When you're ready, you can step into this moment of conception, being a single cell coming into being with peace already present, just absorbing this from the womb, from your mother, father, grandparents. And of course, as a single cell, as the cell doubles again, doubling again, developing, this core state of peace also doubles along with you as you develop, as you continue to absorb even more of this peace from your mother, father, grandparents. Taking all the time you like, you can just nod when you're ready to step into the moment of your birth. Yeah. And so, yeah, stepping in now to the moment of your birth, coming into the world in a whole new way, and continuing to absorb more and more of this peace from your mother, your father, your grandparents, experiencing taking your first breath, seeing your first sights, absorbing even more as you're held for the first time. This peace as a way of being. And in your own time, in your own way, experiencing how you continue to absorb and soak up more and more of this peace as you continue to develop and grow up through time. Noticing how peace develops within you, even as you continue to absorb even more of this from your parents, from your grandparents. And when you get to that point, from your stepfather as well, just experiencing, absorbing, soaking in peace as a way of being, all the way up through time. You can just nod when you reach this current moment. Yeah, and then seeing this just continuing on into the future. This peace as a way of being. A sense of continuing to absorb even more peace as a way of being into the future. And if you like, you can repeat this process as many times as feels valuable, either consciously or unconsciously. Just from conception, birth, and just up to the present, on into the future. Just absorbing more and more. Peace as a way of being. Until you couldn't possibly absorb more. Yeah, and now we'll do one more piece, which is that now that you've made use of this wonderful ability that all kids have of just absorbing the states of those around them, I'd like to guide you through this one more time. And this time, you get to have this core state just as fully present from within as a way of being with your parents, grandparents, stepfather as you remember them to have been. So, with whatever limitations, whatever challenges. So that this way, your unconscious gets the message that even when those around us don't have access to their core states of being, that we still get to have full experience of peace as a way of being. That sound like a good plan? Right. So this time with parents, grandparents, stepfather, as you remember them to have been, whatever limitations or challenges. And with you having this core state of peace fully present as a way of being. You can imagine floating up over your timeline back to before conception. And this time we'll do just in a split second, just zoop that quickly through. So when you're ready, with peace as a way of being, parents, etc., as you remember them to have been. As peace as a way of being, you can step in and just zoop up to the present and on into the future. Experiencing this fully from within, regardless of those, what those around you may be experiencing in any given moment. And now that we've done it quickly, you can do this more slowly if you like, or at whatever pace you'd like to, or it may already feel complete. Right. And now you also have these, you could say these new deluxe parents as a resource that you can carry with you into the future in whatever way is valuable as well. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and enjoy peace with your eyes open as well, taking all the time you like.
That feels great.
Right. Right.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I'm happy to answer any of those questions that you had, or anything more you want to share, feedback from me of this process.
Yes. First of all, to share the feedback of this process, it's amazing. That's from my experience right now, that's what I can say. I feel a shift.
Mm,
Um, I feel something is radiates like layers. Whatever layers were there somehow have been removed. And what's real,
mm,
it's like shining through. It's
mm,
almost like Iron Man's piece that
mm.
he has that
Yeah.
radiates that energy. That's how I feel right now. Like you've helped me to peel some layers that I didn't even know I had, or I
Mm,
didn't know what they were. You helped me to. find them and guided me in removing them. And now the real essence, or what is me, or
Yeah.
just it's just radiating out, and there is nothing that I need to do
Mm.
because that's always there, and there's nothing I need to do to try.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that,
That's
you know,
wonderful.
it's a beautiful thing. Like you can't even imagine how, I know you hear it all the time, but how grateful I am for this, for what you've done
Mm.
for
Yeah.
me today. It just
Well,
brings so much joy to my heart.
well, it's truly a pleasure, and it never gets old hearing. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and I'm just full of gratefulness. I will definitely keep in touch with you as far as how things are going. I will keep working on this, and whenever the time comes, if I feel like I need to do another session and I need to work on something, I will definitely call upon you. And if you have
Yeah.
the time, I would love
Yeah.
to work with you again. But I definitely like this, and as I guess to end it, I want to say, as I progress through my physical therapy that I'm doing right now, the 3 years that I have to do,
Yeah.
um, I think eventually I would like to learn more of this,
Mm.
what you do, because I think eventually, I think this will be very helpful in even working with clientele
Yeah.
in physical therapy. To be able to understand this could be very helpful in helping them to go past pain and to be able to change their beliefs about recovery and things like that. I think this is a
Yeah.
very powerful tool.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful. Well, sounds good. Yeah, just reach out anytime, and we can set something up anytime, or if you have questions, feedback, of course.
yes,
I'll get the feedback for sure. And yeah,
thank you.
just reach out anytime. I'm here, and yeah, really nice to connect today. And
Thank you.
of course,
And I
we'll enjoy having you in any of the trainings anytime you want to join in that too. I know you've got your hands full right now.
yeah, definitely. But I also wanted to say, if I'm really looking forward to what you told me about the high blood pressure thing that you work with
Oh
someone with,
yeah. Okay,
the
I'll email
information.
that over right now.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. Thank you, Mark. You do great work. And as a final thing, you look a lot like your mother. I don't know if they
Yeah.
tell you
I do. I get that a
that.
lot. Yep.
I hope you have a terrific day, Mark. I hope you have a
Awesome. You too,
terrific
Frank.
evening,
Yeah.
and we'll keep in touch.
Awesome. Awesome. Really great to connect. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye.
Thanks so much for meeting. It's been exactly a week since we had our session,
Yes.
maybe by an hour or two, maybe a week and an
Yes.
hour.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, maybe I could just start by reading what you sent over, and then you could just share anything since then. Does that sound good?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, great. So yeah, so 4 days after our session, you said I've noticed a big difference. I've had a couple of situations present themselves and have been able to respond with greater calmness. I was never able to do that before. I have the space to see what is going on now, which allows me to breathe and respond rather than react. Thank you for what you have done for me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that
And
was 4 days after. There's been another 3 days since, and I'm just curious to hear anything more you want to share or any further what you've noticed since.
well, what I've noticed is I can give you a couple of examples. Like
Mm.
this Saturday, I went to over here in the Upper East Side in New York. I traveled from where I live in Brooklyn there, and in the morning because it was really early. I was getting like a coffee, right, from this
Mhm.
one of these trucks that they have there, and so this I I don't even like see this person because I'm facing the truck and I'm ordering. This person just passes by and just like hits my bag. I have my bag on one arm, one
Oh,
shoulder, and
uh-huh,
he just hits the bag, but does it very hard. And
uh-huh,
I turn around, I'm like startled for a second, like what happened? And then I look and I see him walking, and the guy, you could just tell by his posture that he's like walking like, like that tough walk.
uh,
And immediately I looked at him and I just laughed. Like I caught myself laughing and I
yeah,
went back to ordering my coffee. And if this was me before, this
Mm.
would have weighed on me, like gotten me angry, like
Yeah.
like what's wrong with this guy, the disrespect.
Yeah.
But I just laughed it off. And a couple of times driving, yeah, people, because on a daily basis you're gonna run into people that do stupid things, right? Especially here in New York. I just I just looked at them and I would just laugh it off, and I was like, wow, these are different responses
Mm.
than I ever had before. And so it's coming from, like, when we did the exercise, I could just feel that it's coming from the within, from that peaceful place that I found. And
Wonderful.
so yeah, so the reactions are much different. It's like I wrote, it's a response rather than a reaction when
Yeah.
these things pop up. So I feel
Yeah.
like I feel good, and I even feel also during these last I would say 3 days as well. I'm starting to notice like things happening that I didn't expect. Like I seem to have more calmness now also when I'm watching television.
Mm.
When I sit down, I don't feel like this. Before I always felt this feeling like I had to do something, like an
Mm.
anxious feeling, right? That
Yeah.
is dissipating as well. Like I can watch something and just relax into it without having to feel like I have to do something else.
Oh, wonderful. That's
You
really
know?
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's,
so it's generalizing. Yeah.
yeah, great. Well, that's wonderful to hear. And I wonder, you also mentioned, after our session, I also sent you that example of working with somebody using core transformation and
Mm.
some of these other methods, like this anxiety method of spinning field
Yes.
to
Yeah.
reduce blood pressure. And
Yes.
so you also, 4 days ago in the same email, you said you had a moment of clarity where you realized that anxiety has been a part of your problem as well. And so you tried out that spinning feelings exercise and found that really useful as well.
Yes. Because I I could feel that, like that
Mm.
feeling that I was telling you of just needing to always do something. Like I felt like something not done, and I just read that article and I started practicing that.
Mm.
And I made it like you said that the woman did, like a meditation at night
Yeah.
that she would do. I
Yeah.
started to do that, and then I noticed that the feeling would go away,
Mm.
that anxiety, and then
Mm.
it was replaced like with a peace, like that
Mm.
same peace that I found with the anger. Is this the same thing?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And I also noticed that in doing so, even like people that I've talked to lately have a couple of people have told me, Frank, when you speak now, it's like you seem like you're more relaxed,
Oh,
you
nice.
know? And
Yeah.
I watched a video that I of our session, and I could see that I had tension, you know, I could see
Mm.
it because when I would talk to you, I would repeat the same word maybe 2 or 3 times before I got to what I was trying to say to you. And I think that was part of the anxiety that I was
Yeah.
feeling, right? And
Mm.
now I'm more relaxed. That's
Mm.
the only way I could explain it. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
just a peace that I have that I haven't felt maybe since I was a kid.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm really,
Yeah.
really glad and also, happy for your willingness to share this. At the end of the
Mhm.
session, you just suggested, if this could be of use to anyone,
Mhm.
you'd be happy to share it. And so I thought, well, hey, let's do that. That sounds great.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I'm
um,
very happy to share, and I hope it is an example that this does work, because
mm,
what you do is very thorough. And one thing that I could tell when I watched the video too, that I just want to share, is
yeah.
how in tune you are with the person, because you were so in tune to me. Like I could see your connection with me in that video.
Mm,
And it's like you picked up everything, like you understood everything that I was going through, and you were able to just help me to make that adjustment. So this is real. This is
uh,
real. This really works, and I just hope that other people can see the benefits of it, because
wonderful.
it can help transform their lives as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Really appreciate you taking the time and I'll look forward to hearing more too. I'll follow up again This won't be the last you'll hear from me.
Okay, great,
Let's hear how
great.
things are going in another month or so, and I'm glad
Thank
it's
you.
been so useful to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mark. You words can't even describe how grateful I am to everything you've done for me. So thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Well,
Okay.
it's a privilege to get to share this with folks like you. So, yeah.
Thank
Oh, I
you.
was curious if you had anything to share. You mentioned wanting this also with your kids and with your wife. Do you have any examples to
Oh
share
yeah.
with them from the last week?
Yeah. There were a couple of things like they were getting pretty rowdy at one point when I was doing something that I was like studying something, and I found myself not getting feeling that feeling of pressure that I told you about. It was like,
Uh,
okay, I could see like I was there was space between me and what was going on,
uh-huh.
right? And then I could see it, and then I went up to them and I said, guys, I'm doing something. Could you guys just calm down a little bit? I promise once I'm done, I'll play with you.
Mm.
And they calmed down. I got
Oh,
to finish
nice.
my thing and everything was fine.
Uh,
And this is what I'm saying. These little things like that are starting to happen on a
mm,
daily basis. And it's almost like I realized that I never needed that I felt, that anger that I felt. I
mm,
didn't need that in order to function and be effective.
mm.
And
Yeah.
now
Mm.
I don't have it, and I'm much more effective in my dealings with
Awesome.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're so welcome. So welcome. Well, wonderful. I think that's probably everything we need, unless you have anything else to share. Any other?
Well, that's pretty much it. I'm
Yeah.
just like I said, I'm so grateful that I got to find out about core work that you do, right?
Yeah.
And I got to experience it. Like I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but I can see how powerful it is now because I'm living proof of what it's done, for me. And
Yeah.
this one week that I've had, like I said, in my life, I've never had the responses that I've had during this one week,
Mm,
this first week. I
mm,
never had responses like that to the situations that I went through. It was always different, and I tried so many different things to try to get this under control. And it's like
yeah.
now there is no trying to control. There
Mm,
is no trying to control it because it's not there anymore.
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's not there anymore. So
Yeah.
once
Wonderful.
again, all I can say is once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I words cannot express how grateful I am to you.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And
Thank
hope
you.
I'm sure this video will be of value to others too to see what's possible. So thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so
Yeah.
you were just saying some additional benefits you noticed that you didn't expect from. So can
Yeah.
you say again what
Like,
those are?
yeah, like I noticed that with like when it comes like to cleaning or to doing anything like that, like if I had to do it, I would do it, but it's almost like you have the willpower. You have to like, I gotta do this. I have to
Yeah.
do this. But now it's like, okay, and I just do it. And it's not a
Hmm.
problem. And I'm moving and I'm surprised. Wow, look how quickly I got that done. And then
Oh yeah.
with eating as well, which was really surprising for me because that's not something that I was thinking about when I came to you, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that I'm eating less
Uh,
and I'm not thinking like if I get angry, because I'm not getting angry, I'm not thinking about food or I'm not
hmm.
that's not even a process for me now. It's almost like this morning I ate two eggs, two boiled eggs,
Uh,
and I didn't eat anything till maybe like what was it, 4 o'clock?
oh wow.
Yeah. And what I ate was tuna fish, which is a healthy thing. I
Yeah.
There was no cookies, there was no
Mm,
cakes, there was no
yeah.
nervous feeling like I have to eat something. It was
Uh,
nothing like
yeah.
that. And I'm noticing that it's generalizing to food, it's
Uh,
generalizing to cleaning my body as well, exercise. I'm noticing that it's easier to get into doing the exercise. It's not a chore. It's not like I have to force myself. It's like, okay,
uh,
let's
wonderful.
do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really wonderful.
And it's shocking to me because I didn't expect all of this.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad. So glad.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks for sharing your experience.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, anything more before we close for today? And of course, we'll stay in touch.
No, I know I've said it like 3 or 4 times already, but I can't stop saying it. Is I'm very grateful to you, and I hope that my words, my feelings, what I'm expressing, jumping out at you through the screen
Yeah,
because I really mean it. Like if you
yeah.
were there right now, I would just hug you because
Oh,
you've changed my life.
uh,
You've really helped me a lot.
well,
Very grateful.
thanks so much. Here's a virtual hug back to you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad. It was a real pleasure to connect with you and just to really appreciate your you're obviously somebody who just dives fully in and I think that's a big part of the success your success in this as
Thank
well.
you.
Just sharing your experience and letting the transformation emerge from the inside out. That's one of the things I love about this way of working
Yeah.
too, is that the answers are within each of us, and it's this very reliable way of connecting with it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess if I had to describe it, with a lot of these therapy methods, they talk about, okay, this is what you want to do, this is what you want to get to. With this, there's really no talking. You're doing the
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
right? And when you do the results, you get those results, and it's surprising what things start
Yeah.
to happen when you do this. So
Awesome.
I highly recommend this to anyone that is going through something. Give it a try. You're gonna be very, very surprised and very pleased.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Shortly after our video follow-up interview, Frank emailed me and said, "Good morning, Mark. I don't remember if I mentioned this in the follow-up video, but I have noticed that I am getting deeper, more restful sleep. I've not slept in this way in decades. Due to this, I have noticed that I have more energy during the day. As I said in the video, it's really amazing to see how the process we did has affected many areas of my life in such a positive way."
Hey Mark, it's been a month since our session and I just wanted to give you a quick update. Since our session, there have been many occasions where my ability to control my anger has been put to the test. Here in New York City, that's a daily occurrence. But I have to say that the way I respond now is much different than before. Before I would lose my temper, start arguing, but now I just let that go. There is no anger to try to control because there is no anger. And because of this new way of being, I have more patience with my kids. I have a more playful attitude with them. And my relationship with my wife is even better. We have better communication. When we go out now, she doesn't have to worry about being embarrassed because I'm getting into an argument with someone or losing my temper. I've also experienced benefits physically. I'm sleeping better, getting deeper sleep, something I had not experienced in decades. I have more energy, so when I exercise, it's easy. I don't have to force myself to do it. And I'm eating less. Yesterday, I visited my friends who I had not seen in over 8 months. And the reaction I got from them surprised me. One of them said that I looked so relaxed. Another one said that I was glowing. After I left them, I thought about that. And it hit me that the peace that I found with you, that's what they were seeing and feeling. And I have to thank you for that, Mark, because you helped me to not only overcome this anger, but to transform it. So the Frank that came to see you was not the same Frank that completed that session. And I'm very grateful to you for that.
A big thank you to Frank for sharing your experience so that this can be of benefit to anyone. And as you can see, life doesn't have to be such a struggle. I invite you to click the link below to join my newsletter and automatically receive a bunch of free resources to learn more, including a special introductory core transformation training with me, the free microbook Change Without Struggle with a bunch of incredible tips for how to apply this process to yourself, written by my colleague and aunt, Tamara Andreas. She's taught more core transformation trainings than anyone else in the world. You'll receive a free self-guiding script including all 5 phases of the process that you saw demonstrated here today, plus have access to ongoing additional resources.